Senior Connections, a show about senior issues and events. A guide to active, independent living. Senior Connections, with your hosts, Margie Toms and Janet Halliday.
Good afternoon and welcome to Senior Connections. I'm Margie Wimberly Toms.
And I'm Janet Halliday. Today we are joined by Jack Hodges. He is the owner of a very unique business called Attic Attack. So if you have a garage full of junk or an attic full of junk, you might want to pay real attention to his service. Thanks for being on the show, Jack.
Yes, thank you. Jack, why don't you tell us how you started this business in terms of collecting whatever from attics and garages?
Well, a friend and I got a call from his grandmother, and she physically couldn't get up and clean out her attic anymore. So we went over and we pulled everything out and helped her go through it, and we hauled off everything that she didn't want and organized the things she wanted to keep.
So now you will literally pull it out and let them go through it and decide how much stuff have you put back after you've pulled it out?
A lot less than what we took out.
I'm
so
sure that.
People have a tendency to hold on to things that they don't need.
Absolutely.
And having an extra person there to help them go through it is helpful for them.
And some of the items that they don't want anymore, are you able to, sell them or give them away? How does that work?
Yes. Well, we try not to waste anything.
Yes.
Because they kept it for a reason. So we decide what to do. We keep things, we sell things, we give things to charities.
Very good.
We try not to throw it away.
So when you say you try not to do it now, do you arrange auctions? Should they want to have their items auctioned, or how does that work?
Well, we're happy to drop things off at an auction, but we don't set them up ourselves. If somebody's going to have an estate sale, that sort of thing, if it's the case that a family member's passed away and they have a house full of stuff, we'll come in and do a sweep of the house, take everything they don't want or don't need, and then stage the things that they want to keep for an estate sale, or we'll load it up and take it to an auction house.
Now, when you say stage, explain that, because I have no idea what that means.
Well, they have, oftentimes if somebody's trying to sell a home or having an estate sale, they don't want the clutter there anymore. They don't want the stuff that just doesn't matter. They want to have the furniture set up in the house so that it looks like it's being lived in still.
Sure, sure.
So we can move the furniture around for them, stage the house, take everything they don't need, and get it ready for them to sell or to be shown or to be hauled off.
When one is having a garage sale, do you come and help them remove all the items from the house? Now, they may not want you to take anything, but they just need help in collecting all the items and removing them outside, for instance?
Yeah, and we can do that as well. We're most helpful in situations where people have just got too much clutter and they need to unload some of it.
Yes.
So, like, for instance, if I had a garage sale and I got rid of a lot of stuff, but I still had stuff left over.
Yes, sir.
You would be willing to come and pick that up and take it away?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
I see.
How much do you charge, Jack?
Well, it's quotes. We don't have an hourly rate anymore, so it's a consultation is free. I'm more than happy to go to someone's house, give them some ideas. If they don't like the quote, then hopefully I give them some good advice on what they can do to make their life a little easier.
So who would be a typical client?
Someone who is moving, selling a house, moving in a retirement home.
Like downsizing?
Downsizing. Women who maybe can't get their husbands to do it. Maybe husbands who want to have their Saturday freed up so they can play golf. It really varies. It's a little bit of everything. We can help any situation.
How long have you been doing this now?
About 5 years.
Oh, that long. How big is your staff?
There are 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, Tell us maybe about some of the most interesting things that you've come across in your, you said 5 years that
Yes,
you've
ma'am.
been doing this.
Well, we come across more family photos and things like that more than anything. But there are some things that I probably shouldn't share in the air. But everything is confidential. So so anything that we see in the house is your name will not be put out there in the public.
Well, I cannot imagine. I'm so curious now. But we have to take a break, and we have a brand new sponsor, Hall Tax and Planning Services, and they do everything from estate preservation to Medicare supplements. So if you need some of those services, give Roger a call. I'm sure he'd be happy to help you, and we'll be right back.
Senior Connections, brought to you by our premier senior providers, offering exceptional services for older adults. Our premier senior providers include Comfort Keepers of Columbia, comforting solutions for in-home care, anesthesiology consultants, board-certified anesthesiologists with over 400 years of combined anesthesia experience, serving these fine institutions throughout the Midlands for over 25 years. Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home and Cremation Services, our family serving your family since 1884. Hall Tax and Planning, helping you work towards a worry-free retirement. Central Midlands Aging and Disability Resource Center, serving Lexington, Richland, Newberry, and Fairfield counties.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. We are talking with our guest, Jack, and he's telling us all about attics and garages. Now, if you would tell us, what kind of animals do you find, particularly maybe more in attics?
Yes,
folks don't know that they're there, as opposed to garages, Jack.
Right. And we do come across the occasional rat or mouse and the occasional snake skin, but that's
the skin is left.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
The snake, the snake is
the
gone.
Snake is gone, right? But we've never come across anything larger than that.
Well, that's a good reason to hire you all to do it versus you doing it yourself.
That's right.
Now,
Yeah.
do you also clear out like storage units,
Yes,
those
ma'am.
types of things?
Sure.
Because I know, you know, I don't put anything in the attic. I mean, I just won't go up there. First of all, it's too hot. And
Right.
second of all, I don't like heights. But I do have a couple of storage units, so I probably could
That's
use
what you
that.
do then.
Sure, and we do storage units, sheds. We've done barns and just about any storage space.
Barns. Now, what did you find in a barn?
All kinds of
Wow.
all kinds of good horse saddles, harnesses,
Really?
everything that you can imagine.
So
Yeah, I would think
then
so.
you just take these to, like, I don't know, thrift shops, his house.
Well, I have a warehouse that we've been filling up, and we either take things to auction from there, or right now it's just filling up.
Okay.
Okay, what are your plans for this warehouse that you're filling up? Then
Well,
somebody gets to come and clean that out.
we do have to spend a good bit of time cleaning that out, but the ultimate plan is to either have a storefront or to have an in-house
Storefront,
auction.
yeah.
So then are you thinking about like maybe having a thrift store of some sort where people can come in and buy? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
I assume because you've cleared out attics that have belonged to older folks that you're coming across a lot of antiques.
Sure.
So what have been some of the antique type things that you've come across?
Everything you can imagine when it comes to antiques, and a lot of that stuff, if a family member doesn't want it, then we'll take it. Sometimes people do want it, and if that's the case, then we'll load it up and deliver it to their house or a storage unit for them.
Okay. Have you come across any valuables, that they didn't know was valuable, which oftentimes happens
Yes.
with antiques, Then it's probably yours to keep once you cart it away, right?
Right, and we
Yeah.
do hold on for it for a period of time. So if I end up getting a phone call a couple of days later, then we'll be happy to return something.
Yeah.
But after we leave, then typically we keep it.
Well, I can't hardly wait to go through that warehouse that you have, filling up. Now, tell us, how far out do your services, do you go out, all over the state? Or is it 8 counties? Tell us about how far out you
We'll go as far as people want us to go.
Oh, okay.
We go to Charleston, we've been to Charlotte, we've been to Atlanta. Anywhere around Columbia is easy. And so anywhere you want us to go.
So you're really just not local. You do go out.
Do you have a van with your name on it in terms of what you do? That's advertising, correct?
Right, yes.
You do have that?
Well, we're working on the truck.
Oh, okay.
A moving truck with our name and everything. Right now we have 2 trucks and 2 trailers. And, and one of them's enclosed, and so we have plenty of space.
So how do people learn about your service?
Well, you can contact my cell phone, or we have a website, atticattack.org.
But I mean, if I were going to go on the website, what would I Google? Would I Google moving, or I mean, what would I?
Well, that's a good question. I've never tried to Google it before. I hope it comes up. Atticattack.org is
okay. Atticattack.org.
Probably the best thing to put in.
That makes
sense. Or you can always get me on my cell phone.
Well, Margie was saying, where did I happen to find you?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'll tell you how I found Jack. He came to a senior care professionals of the Midlands meeting.
Okay.
And he obviously is interested in marketing these services to families or older folks that need these services. Because I know my mother, she's not what I call a hoarder. She's an organized hoarder, but she's got things in every corner.
Yes,
and I know it would just take me just forever to go through all of her things.
Sure.
And so I look forward to getting you to help. And if you're looking for a home care agency, give Bill Johnson with Comfort Keepers a call, and he'd be happy to send one of his loyal professionals.
Hello, my name is Sean Owen. Today we're discussing compression therapy. Compression therapy can be used for different types of indications, such as swelling in the ankles or legs, commonly called edema, or it could be used for people who have varicose veins or spider veins. Sometimes doctors recommend compression therapy for DVT or deep vein thrombosis, which is blood clots. You can use compression therapy also for when you're traveling on long distances, such as in an airplane or on a car ride. Maternity patients can also use compression therapy when they are pregnant to prevent varicose veins from popping up. Compression therapy comes in a variety of different styles, colors, knits, and fabrics. Most commonly they are in knee-high and thigh-high compression. Thigh-high compression can be very, very light, or it can be thicker depending on the grades, because compression therapy can be in different grades. You want to discuss compression therapy with your doctor to see if it's right for you. Also, they come in a variety of different styles and colors, including cotton. And sometimes people like that because of the feel of it a little bit better. Compression therapy is not covered under insurance, but you do want to talk with your doctor a little bit more about if compression therapy is right for you. For more information concerning compression therapy or other medical devices, contact me, Sean Owen, at Medical MedPoint Specialties, 728-0122.
Senior Connections brought to you by our premier senior providers offering exceptional services for older adults. Our premier senior providers include Chad Kurtz with New American Mortgage.
How have these homeowners achieved greater financial flexibility? With a reverse mortgage from a trusted source, MetLife Bank. If you're a homeowner age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage could make a difference in your life too.
It is the best thing we've ever done. I am so relieved.
It really lets me sleep at night.
Why not learn the facts today from a MetLife Bank reverse mortgage consultant? There's no obligation.
Senior Connections brought to you by our premier senior providers, offering exceptional services for older adults. Our premier senior providers include Hall Tax and Planning, helping you work towards a worry-free retirement.
Welcome back to
Senior Connections brought to you by
We're
our
having
premier
a good time
senior
talking
providers,
about cleaning out
offering
attics and
exceptional
garages.
services for older adults.
And
our premier senior
Jack
providers
will
include
explain just how people find out about him. Most of it is how.
Most of our business is word of mouth.
Yes.
Happy customers from the past who pass along to friends and family members.
So important, huh? Absolutely.
Yes,
And we wanted to make sure, not just limited to those two things, you'd said barns and sheds and storage units and all those.
Whole houses.
Now,
Sure.
I want to hear you tell me about who have you made the most happy?
Who have I made the most happy? Oh, goodness.
I mean, you were telling me about an incident, I think one that you did recently with a garage, and the lady just broke down crying.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah, we have, that happens, and people just say, we don't know what we would have done without you.
Sure.
You're a godsend. You know, we've been told all kinds of nice compliments.
Well, you know, people really don't think about how important it does, particularly when you can't do it yourself.
That's right.
You know, that you have nice, strong guys willing to get dirty, willing to do it.
That's right.
I don't think I can pay my children enough to do it.
Well, and we'll
I don't think so either.
We'll happily be your son or grandson for the day and give you a hand.
So on that first consultation, when you come by, then you're able to size out the house, the garage. So your cost is based on that?
Yes, sir.
When you give that consultation?
Yes, sir.
Which is free normally, yes?
That's right.
Okay.
It is free.
What does it average, though? Just give us a ballpark.
Well, for a typical attic, it's $500 is a pretty average cost.
Okay.
And when it comes to whole houses of stuff, that can get upwards of
that can
12 to 1,500.
I would think so.
But it really varies. It depends on the job. We've done $100 jobs and on up. So it really depends.
Well, that seems like a good price, you know, not to have your husband upset and he can go about playing his golf or his tennis game.
That's right.
Now, you had talked to me when we talked earlier about some of the other types of services that you provide. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, one thing we come across a lot is old tax papers, old files, that sort of thing, and it has to be shredded. So I have a shredder that I use, and we do all the shredding ourselves, so you don't have to worry about any of your information ending up in a landfill or getting out in the public. And delivery, we're happy to deliver furniture or belongings to other family members, whether they're in town or out of town, and put it in the place of their choice.
So that's good.
Go ahead, Mom.
I was just going to ask him in terms of how much projection have you done in terms of expanding your business? Like from when you started out 5 years ago to now, would you say your business has grown?
Oh, it's definitely grown. There's room to grow.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people who need our services and don't know about us. So hopefully,
hopefully this will let a lot of them know about
the fact that you shred. That's a big thing right there. You know, because people collect and collect. They never get to a shredder. You know.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's kind of.
Are you talking about yourself?
I am. I've got a whole plastic bag of things that need to be shredded.
Now, you also said that you also do little jobs. And tell us about that.
Well, any heavy project.
No. I was talking about the filters and the light bulbs and things like that.
Oh, sure. And I've had calls from folks who couldn't change light bulbs or air filters, and they said, well, I really don't need you for anything big, but I just can't get up there and change my bulb or my air filter, and I'll be happy to go over and give them a hand and it won't charge them anything for that.
Do you have to be bonded in your business?
I am insured and bonded.
Okay.
And so everything
makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, everything's covered.
Well, that's good. So if there's any kind of an accident or anything while you're moving something or carrying it out, then your insurance covers it. The homeowner doesn't have to worry about that. Okay. So how far out should somebody call you to maybe schedule some kind of service?
A week or two in advance is preferred. And if we need to rush something, then we'll do our best to help out.
Okay. Well, if you're considering planning for your funeral, that's one of the nicest things families can do. Call Greg Mosley with Cornegay Mosley and set up an appointment, and he'd be happy to discuss that with you. And we'll be right back.
Senior Connections brought to you by our premier senior providers, offering exceptional services for older adults. Our premier senior providers include Senior Care Professionals of the Midlands, Senior Connections brought to you by our premier senior providers, offering exceptional services for older adults. Our premier senior providers include Senior Living Guide, serving the Midlands for more than a decade. Life Care Center of Columbia, doing whatever it takes and then some. Harry Crosby, educating people on solutions available for long-term care for almost 20 years. Brookdale Senior Living, providing exceptional senior living for over 30 years. Aging Gracefully, a senior living consulting service. Senior Care Professionals of the Midlands.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. We are again talking to Jack about the attics and the garages that he cleans out. Jack, what time does your day start and when does it end in reference to your work?
Well, we try to get started earlier in the morning so we can beat the heat, and we'll work as long as we can until we get too tired. It gets hot up there, so we try to get stuff done as quickly as possible.
Sometimes you have more than maybe one job.
Yes,
maybe you go from one job and then to another job.
Sure.
I see what you're saying.
Take a water break, maybe change clothes, and go to another job.
Now, we had talked a little bit earlier about the increase in your business. Now, are you planning to hire maybe in the next few months more people to work with you, or do you maybe hire folks short term for the summer months? I guess you'd probably be a little busier.
Well, a little bit of both. The summer is our busiest time, spring and summer, and I usually use college-age kids, guys who are looking for summer jobs, and so I can give them some help.
That's ideal.
Some of those that need to not work out in the gym, they can come and carry. Right.
We can help them sweat.
Right. So we had talked between. They said, "Why were you attracted to this?" And what was your answer?
I think it's because I like to help people, and by making their life easier, it gives me some joy. So.
But we were talking about organizational skills.
I'm not organized myself. It just so happens that I'm good at organizing other people's things.
And I said I kind of have the same problem. And I hope my husband's not watching because he'll absolutely agree. But I think maybe it has to do with the fact that you become personally attached.
That's true.
To the things that you have collected or that you have surrounded yourself by. And it's a little harder when you start sorting those things out. What should I get rid of? I mean, I even have problems getting rid of shoes, and I might hate them. They might be the most uncomfortable things that I put my feet in. But it's something about, I might need those.
You never know, right?
And you don't want to throw them away.
Right.
And, especially that Christmas present that your great aunt gave you when you were in college. You don't want you have that sentimental connection, and you don't want to throw it away.
Sure.
And
especially, I guess, if you have a big house and you have more of a tendency to hold on to things. But if your home is not that big, then I'm not a hoarder at all. I get rid of because it makes it easier for me to clean my house, you know.
Yes.
So I guess it varies from one person to the next, you know.
Simplification does do that. Exactly. Well, again, is there anything that you would want to tell the audience about your service? Just one more time before we close out, and I give them some more information.
Well, everybody needs this service at some point, and
Absolutely.
And whether it's your house, your storage area, or a family member's house, and we'd be happy to come over and talk to you and see how we can help.
Thank you so much, Jack.
You're going to give us some of your pamphlets, because
Yes,
I want to pass out some in my church.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to remind folks that we have Senior Connections website, and we have a great event calendar. And if you have a church event or a club event that you would like seniors to know in the community, just send us that and we will post that for free. Also, there's a list of support groups on that website, and those support groups are listed by county. And we always keep our guest information on there so that you'll find out a name, a number, maybe the website connection. So make sure you check that website on a regular basis, because there is just a ton of information on there. We've also put a direct link to the Capital Senior Center and their schedule, because we ran out of room on our calendar. They're just so active. I read today where they have over 860 members now. And also in the Lexington, Batesburg area, Leesville, that area, they are starting to organize a new Shepherd Center. So if you are interested in becoming a part of that, call the United Methodist Church there on Main Street in Lexington. It was wonderful to have you today. Is there anything that you have to tell them, Margie?
No, I think that's all. But we thank you for tuning in. And of course, we'll see you again next week. And stay blessed.
For more information on the topics discussed on today's show, to learn about upcoming senior events and support groups in the Midlands, or to submit a question, go to seniorconnectionssc.com. You can also call us at 803-739-4205.
Senior Connections brought to you by our premier senior providers offering exceptional services for older adults. Our premier senior providers include Comfort Keepers of Columbia, comforting solutions for in-home care, anesthesiology consultants, board-certified anesthesiologists with more than 400 years of combined anesthesia experience, serving these fine institutions throughout the Midlands for over 25 years. Born-Again Mosley Funeral Home and Cremation Service, our family serving your family since 1884. Cindy Loma with ERA Wilder Realty, a certified senior real estate specialist. Central Midlands Aging and Disability Resource Center, serving Lexington, Richland, Newberry, and Fairfield counties.